road right, we're in pretty good shape, and the American economy has proven to be very, very resilient here.
Just to play devil's advocate, Jim, what a lot of the bulls on the consumer always pointed to was the savings boom that we saw during the pandemic. The stimulus checks went out, people collected unemployment, the savings rate shot up. And all the bulls on the consumer said, well, look, we have these elevated savings. Well, last week we saw the personal savings rate go back down for November to a level back to 2017. So that has faded, and I just wonder if that takes away a big tailwind.
Yeah, that is a little worrying, and it's not, I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, Sarah, to your point, a savings rate of about 6% is where you would find perfect, sustainable consumer spending. But the evidence clearly shows that consumers are still spending, and the jobs numbers are really.
Yo.
I think unless.
Hey.
Hey, Sasan, I know you're a doctor and everything, but I think we're far enough apart that you don't have to be wearing your mask.
I'm at the airport. See?
Oh, you're at the
They're gonna
airport?
arrest me.
You're at
Yeah,
the
I just
airport?
landed.
Oh, okay.
The first
Shouldn't you be pulling your gun and shooting it and all of that?
Yeah, exactly. That's too obvious at this point for my eyebrows.
Should I just start yelling at you in fake Arabic?
Yeah. Just
Kaboom! Kaboom!
Exactly. I'm actually probably gonna get arrested just for saying that.
For sure. For sure.
Oh, hold on. It is. Oh, good. Okay. My ride, it just sent a text. She's in traffic, so we are good.
Where the fuck is everybody here?
So I just landed, obviously. So I'm a little behind on the conversation. I know that we had some conversation about the
you know what?
and the.
You know what? Since no one else is on, and I know you read super fast, why don't you log off, read through the chain real quick, and then log back on?
I don't even have to log off. I'll just go.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Just
yeah.
Just check that shit out.
Give me a sec here, and I'm on it. Yeah. So it's the apocalypse with spots of
Riders of the Storm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I haven't gotten the comfort level with the spy puts that I should have at this point, but I think that's gonna be what I'm gonna delve into once I get in tomorrow. Yeah, I'll figure everything out time-wise. The schedule is a little rough, but I gave myself a couple of days off on those very important January days to just be off
is
on that.
Of the essence. Well,
absolutely.
To a degree.
Yeah. That's true.
Timing is of the essence, unless it's not.
Yeah. Exactly. That's classic bottom. Classic bottom.
That is correct.
So I got this.
The end of the world is coming, unless it's not.
What's up, everybody?
Wow, this is great.
Hey, howdy
Hello.
do. Howdy do. Look at this. We've got our own fucking version of planes, trains, and automobiles. You're in a car. Sasan's at the airport. I'm not sure where Sharik is. I'm grinding weed.
I'm watching my little guy right now, listening to you guys.
Little guy.
Yep.
Little guy.
Little guy.
Little guy definitely has that look. Dad better start making some money.
Yep. You guys do your thing. I'm listening. I'll ask questions where I think
Yeah. I'm just gonna give another like 2 minutes for Rob and Amar to get on.
Okay, great.
And then we'll get going.
Neat. Oh man, it is cold over here.
Yeah, man. Not here.
Stepped out. I've got flip flops.
You know, I was walking around today. And it just hit me that the weather is just so fucking perfect.
I know.
The temperature is so perfect. The humidity is so perfect. I mean, you know, life's just fucking grand.
Good. May it always be that way.
May it always be
That's
that
great.
way, indeed. Indeed.
My friend's in
Uh,
Barcelona now. It's like 60 degrees in Barcelona. That sounds pretty nice.
Well, yeah, you know, if you're like where you are, I'd be like,
Hey,
God
guys.
damn, what am I gonna do in 60
Hey.
degrees? There he is, Amar. fresh
Hey,
on
how's
the
it going?
scene.
Omar, what's up?
Dude, I'm sneaking around work, man.
And Rob, okay, cool. Then let's get going because, you know, this is very impromptu. Okay, I even took some notes. Okay, whenever any great fortune gets made in the stock market, it's because whoever it happened to saw it coming and took advantage, lined up their ducks, did what they had to do, and saw something that many people did not. You know, there's George, what's his name? The guy that everyone says is going to take over the world. What's his name?
Soros.
George Soros, exactly. The Hunt
yeah, Soros, yeah.
brothers. The guy who guessed right on the mortgage collapse. You know, all of these guys. Okay, they saw something happening. I have never really felt that because I'm always like, well, you know, they've got supercomputers and whatever else. I'm never going to get that shit. A lot of the times I feel it's presented to you, but no one's paying attention. We're all caught up in our own shit. We're all moving along and blah, blah, blah. And there it is. So this is that opportunity, I feel. It's a question of, you know, what steps everyone is willing to take to line themselves up correctly, to take as big of an advantage as possible. Okay, so what have we been hearing? We've been hearing how, you know, there's going to be a mess the first half of the year. Is it going to be the first 3 months? Is it going to be the first 6 months? Nobody really knows. But we have an inkling because we see how the market behaves. Nothing takes huge periods of time. It only takes a bit longer than what we've gotten used to. What we've gotten used to have been, boom, it drops, bang, it bounces. It's a matter of days. We're used to that. This ain't going to be that because this is going to hurt. This is going to shake out all the people who are used to that, who when it doesn't bounce after a week and continues to drop or grinds along the bottom for a long period of time, will be like, what the fuck? And they'll sell and that'll continue the grind lower until that's all gone. But the majority of the loss will happen during a short period of time. Again, not as short as what we've been used to, but still relatively short in the time frame of how long giant market corrections have taken in the past. In the past, they've taken, you know, a year, sometimes more, all of that. That's not going to be happening. So what do we need to do? I recommend right now, okay, who does this call really benefit? This call benefits people more than $100,000. Tina, awesome to see you on the call. You probably saw I did some stuff in your account today. You also, you also see that you're over 100 grand. So now you're one of these people. Okay. What you want to do is you want to buy
Awesome. Congrats.
rolling, huh?
Congrats, over 100.
Oh,
Thanks.
yes.
It's gonna be a good year. They're not
well-
telling us that, but it is.
We'll see. We'll see about that. Okay. First of all, after this call, if you haven't already done so, read through all the shit from the beginning of the day and listen to all the shit that's been posted.
Yes,
It's really, 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 really fucking important. Okay. So buy rolling puts. Buy rolling puts, 10%, assuming a 10% correction. Okay. As you've seen from what I've done, and I've been posting it, I've already made substantial purchases in end of January puts and middle of February puts. Why middle of February and not end of February? There is no end of February. You know, that hasn't come out yet. The one after middle February is middle March. Then they have end of March because that's the end of the quarter, but they don't have a lot of the ones in between middle of February and middle of March. So I bought a shit ton of both end of January 425s and middle February 25s. If they continue to drop, I will actually first buy March 18 425s or March 31st 425s, maintaining an allowance for that 10% drop and buying further out. As I said, I'm going to build this puts position up to about 1.5% of my portfolio value. Again, I don't care, okay? Because if it goes to shit, I'll have made a lot more. If the shit starts flying in my direction, this will explode, offsetting to a large degree my losses. Why? Because I'm not buying the SPY puts in the money. I'm buying them far out. And if the market starts to drop, it's gonna, the far out shit is gonna be exponential. Okay? So that's what I'm doing to start with. Now, if the market starts to drop heavily, as we're anticipating, if we're anticipating a market drop of 10%, that means that stocks like Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon will drop more than that. They'll drop, you know, let's be conservative and say as much as the market, 10%, maybe as high as 20%. That's the stock price. That's not the option price. The option price will get hit more. How much more? That depends on how far out your strike price is. If the stock is at 180 and your strike price is 210, that's one thing. If the strike price is at 140, if the strike price is at 140, those 210s become, you know, virtually pipe dreams, because when you bought them, you had 18 months. At this time, you're going to have 9 months, 6 months, depending on, you know, where the bottoming ends in that first half of the year. So what you want to do is, as we get into January and as the Santa Claus rally, whatever the fuck you want to think of it as, carries over into the new year, as Tom Lee spoke about, he said, hey, we're going to go to 5,000. And then it was the guy who said, and after, you know, if you listen to the clip. So we're going to go up, but then we're going to come down. So what you want to do is, I think most of us who've bought like the Apple 210s or even the Apple 200s in 23, this only applies to your January 23s, okay? If you have those and the Apple drops and you're still hanging on to them, it's going to be a toughie, okay? What I'm looking to do is in January, early part of January, I may very well be unloading all of my Apple January 23 above 180, okay? Because I will have captured profits. Granted, I won't have a chance to have them become long-term, even though I think 1 or 2 of them may be, okay? What I'll be able to do is either hold on to that money for a little while and see if the downturn starts to happen, or immediately just roll them into closer to the money January 24s. Okay, understand this also. Right now, if you go out and you buy the January 31 SPY puts, the 425s that I've been buying, they're like at $1. Okay, and because the SPYs are at like 477 or something like that. If tomorrow those 477s become 467s, those 425s will no longer not be $1, but because the whole momentum will have shifted from the market going up to now the market going down, those puts will start accelerating exponentially because the value of time will have become a giant bomb, okay, that's ticking because it's moving in that direction as opposed to before when it wasn't. The same thing applies to stocks. As soon as Apple is going up right now, and anticipation is it's going to go over 3 million, it's the end of the year, running into the first week, check, all of this shit, it's going up faster than just, the dollar acceleration. However, if it reverses, the same thing happens. The calls will decelerate. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to get rid of the January 23rd while the stock is climbing and its appreciation of the option is accelerating due to the direction being the same way. When it drops, you want to wait for it to drop because at that point, those 124s will no longer be moving as fast as they are now. If you just move out of the January 23s into January 24s, you're going to be buying the January 24s at a premium. So my recommendation is to sell the January 23s that you're up on. Lock in the profits. There's nothing wrong with taking profits. If all of this is wrong, well, you know what? You'll buy back in at a slightly different price. No big deal. But you'll be like, okay, cool. That didn't happen. No big
Yeah,
deal.
and given that the 200s and 210s were in the red most of the year, I'm going to be happy to sell them in the green.
Right. Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
no ifs, ands, or buts. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Can I jump in with a question while?
Yeah,
like, on
I
this
think
topic?
that's actually all I had to say about kind of the strategy. So the strategy in a nutshell, I'm sorry, before you jump in, is
No
start
problem.
buying rolling puts in early January. Get rid of all of your January 23 far out tech expirations, not banks, tech. This conversation is just about tech, okay? Banks are going up because of interest rates. So sell the January 23 far out expiring ones. And then once the shit starts to drop, start buying January 24, March 24, whatever you've got as far out, as close to the expiration, as close to the strike price as possible. But make sure you're buying enough. Don't buy like one in the money. Buy like 8 that are 10, 15% out of the money, okay? Because the money has come down, okay? So do it like
Are you
that.
talking about SPY puts right now, or are you talking about apples or text, whatever?
Apples,
This is
right?
all
Apples.
about SPY puts.
Okay, so SPY
Oh,
puts. I just want to.
Okay,
I just
no,
want
no,
to see.
no.
I wanted
No,
to
actually, no, it's
clarify.
not. You're right. No. Yes, this last bit is about apples,
Apples,
Okay.
yeah,
okay? SPY puts, you're buying 10% out, 10% below the current price. Okay, it's at around 477, rounded up 50, it's 425. That's 10%.
Okay.
Okay,
That's not
right.
my question. Can I ask a
Okay.
question? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about March?
Okay.
What about the March 23s?
Gonna get to that for Irene, go.
Okay, so my question is, I have two positions in Apple. Both are in 23. One is 123, 180s, which are over 100% already. I don't
Mhm.
think I'll hit long term on them in January, but they're over 100%. And
What
just
else?
to be safe, should I take them? And the other position I have is, oh no, those are at 90%. But I have 923s, 185s that are over 100%. So
Okay, asterisk. To play all of this shit, you gotta have money. Okay?
Yeah.
So you either have margin you can use, you're either gonna be dropping money into it, or you're gonna have to sell shit.
I'll have
Okay.
money. I have like 45,000 to put in.
Great.
Yeah.
Super. So then you take a look at how close you are to being long-term.
Okay.
Okay? If you're pretty close, understand that the SPY puts you're buying are providing you portfolio insurance.
Okay,
Okay? The only reason you want to get rid of your far out 123s, okay? And 180 is not that far out.
yeah. It's
Okay.
yeah, it's not, that's why.
Right.
I asked.
The only reason you wanted to be doing that is because if it drops, you're not going to have enough time to make it back there. You know, so if you've
Hold on.
got the money and or margin, and long term is coming up sooner rather than later, hang on. Okay. If it's coming up later, bail. Okay. If it's a difference of 4 or 5 months or whatever, bail. Okay. Get the money
For
now
long term.
because, yeah, get the money now, pay the short-term gains, because in the end, it'll almost be a wash, you know,
With the
without,
losses, whatever, yeah.
being nervous, without being nervous. Okay?
Okay.
Does that answer the question? Or do you
Yes,
have any?
thank you.
Okay, moving on to the
No, that
next
was
one.
big.
Rob, you were going.
Yeah, so I think just going to ask a follow-up, and I think you've answered this, is as we're buying rolling puts, we want to go 10% down from the current price. So 425 is the number today. That's going to
Right.
evolve. Okay,
Right.
that's really it. So I get it. So we may end up having
But
multiple.
you also asked about March, right? What about March?
That was a Mar.
Oh, that was Amar. Okay, sorry. Then did you have anything else or just that?
That's it for now. I think the rest we can
Okay.
talk about tomorrow.
And I think for the most part, you know, it's like, well, what if it goes up? Well, first of all, a 425 is 50 points. So that already assumes a 10% reduction off the SPYs being at 5. Not, you know, as if it was 10% off the SPYs at 500. So if it goes up to like 480 or whatever, don't nickel and dime it. Okay.
Yeah,
This
fair
is
enough.
about
I get it.
substantial positions. You know,
Yeah, I'm
don't
talking
look
about-
at it and be like, oh, I'm not going to buy the 425s. It might not get there. I'm going to buy the 460s and I'll buy a lot less. Understand, this is not about making money on the SPYs. We'll all be much happier if they go to zero and the rest of our portfolio is shooting up. That's where the money is.
By the way, I
Okay.
might have missed this. What's the percentage of portfolio that is an ideal target? 1%?
I'm going as high as around 1.5%.
Okay.
Okay. And that's not just of your non-IRA. That's of all your shit.
All your shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Amar, Sasan, Sharik, Tina, who's next?
I mean, I'm in a pretty interesting position. I've got most of my, I go to long term right in the middle of January or right second week of January. And then a lot of these things kind of run out the third week. I've got, 121, 22 positions and such. So I'm going to have to wait for that 1 week, that sweet spot week. I'm just hoping that it doesn't do this turn before that.
You need to be getting into the rolling put positions right now. That's step
I'm
one
gonna start
of
that.
this.
Yeah. I've got
Okay.
some stuff I can sell to do that right away.
Right.
But
Right.
then there's these
The
other
first
ones
thing-
that are.
Before you go on offense, you have to build your defense.
Got it.
Okay. So right now you have to, and listen, the 1.4% that I will be allocating to this, the operative word there is will. I haven't allocated all of that today. Today I allocated like 1/3 of that, like 0.5%, maybe even a little bit less. I'm not going to shoot my load today. I'm going to let all of this shit build up, over the rest of the week, maybe into a little bit earlier next week. And then I'm going to stop buying the puts, because I'll have enough for January, certainly for January. As I get past the middle of January, I'll start buying supplemental puts like at the end of March or, mid-April or something like that. That's what I mean by rolling puts. Again, if you're sacrificing it, who cares? You're getting tax losses to write off and your portfolio is going up. Okay? When you buy SPY puts, you're almost in a no-lose proposition. It's unless you were buying options this far out, expiring this Friday, that had no chance of happening, and you were putting such a substantial amount of money into it that your portfolio wasn't going to go up that much to offset it, you'd be fucked. But here we're buying options longer out, as far as spies are concerned. Anything else, Hassan?
February, yeah. No, that's it.
When
Yeah,
you're saying
okay.
rolling puts, I know there's other people that want to go, but just this applies to all of us. When you're saying rolling puts, are you saying that we let them expire and get more, or do we sell as we go out further?
Look, I never say, hey, just leave the money on the table. I'm still the guy who, if there's a quarter on the ground, I'll pick it up. Not really less than a quarter, but a quarter for sure. Here, obviously, if I'm holding the January 31 425s, and here I am on January 26th, and the spies are at like 460, and I don't see anything that says the next week is it. Well, I'm gonna take that out, take that loss, and apply what little money I have towards buying further out. Because if I've lost money on those puts, I've made it in other parts of the portfolio. So again, I only look at one number on my account, the total. I don't really care. After the total, then I go, okay, what's who's the redheaded stepchild? And do that. Who's next? Amar, anyone? Sharik?
Okay, I'll go. So the couple of things. So it's
Yeah.
my count isn't large, but it's not small either. And I didn't want to allocate too much.
What
money
are
to
you?
the
You're like
puts.
500,000 or something, right?
No, I'm like 200 something.
No, between all your shit. Between all your
Yeah,
shit.
between all the stuff. Yeah,
This is
exactly.
all your
But
shit. If the shit
Okay.
hits the fan, it's gonna hit the fan across all your fucking shit.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'm not as nervous about stocks. You know what I mean? Like I'm more
It
nervous
doesn't
about
matter.
the
They're
options.
still gonna get
No?
fucking whacked. Don't you want to have protection?
That's true. That's true. So I guess if I didn't have that much money to allocate to puts, would it be okay if I just bought the March puts right away and started adding to that a little bit at a time? Or do you really think I should
No.
do the rolling with January, February, March?
If you only have enough money to choose one of the three, choose the February ones.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, sounds good. And then the other question I have was, my apples are very, doing very well. I have I'll follow your plan, like you said. I think that makes sense for all the January ones. But I do have one that expires in March. It's a March 160. And then for
March what,
June-
22?
Yeah, 23.
23,
These are all
huh?
23s. I only have 23s. So March 23, 160s. And then I have June 23s, 160, 180, and 140. Those
You
are
don't
all
have
up
any
at the-
January 23s?
I do. I have one January.
Which
So the
one?
January one, I'll do that, what you said. But what about for
Okay.
March or June? Should I do anything with those?
March or June, I would not do anything with those right now. I'd hang
Okay.
on to it, monitor the situation. And, the 160s, I think those are fine. If anything, if the shit started to hit the fan, I'd be looking to pick up more of those.
Okay.
If you have further out with higher strikes, again, look at where those strikes are relative to the, the price of the stock at that particular moment in time.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, my best one is the June 23 140s. They're doing the best.
Right,
Okay, I'll leave that one alone then.
right.
Okay. I
Okay,
think those are-
also, look at when your shit rolls over into long-term, okay?
Mine's all
Because
February. Yeah,
okay,
a lot of it's
well-
February.
look at that stuff, because once that happens, that's when you really want to protect your big gains.
Okay.
Because now you're getting taxed at a lower rate, so you really want to protect as much of that as possible.
Okay. I mean,
Okay.
I was hoping to hold on to the January 23s until February, but I feel like by that
What
point
you
it
can
might have already.
always do, and this is also, I didn't put that in, but what you guys can always do is you can put in trailing stop orders on all of your calls that you think might be in danger, Just keep an eye on that. But understand, if you have a trailing stop in and the shit hits the fan, if your trailing stop is in 2% below where the stock is trading and the stock market is moving fast, you might get sold at 5% or more below, because that's the next price where someone is buying.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I've never
Quick,
tried that kind of
bottom-
sell order before, but
yeah,
Just one quick thing. Is there any, I've kept toying with this idea of just selling all my stock and just being all options. So I
that's
don't
an
even know why I have
individual
stock
choice.
anymore.
That's an
Okay.
individual choice. I cannot really provide any hugely sound rationale for why people would hold stocks versus not. I will never sell my Apple. I will also not buy any more Apple unless they announce more stock splits, at which point I will buy more Apple regardless of what it's trading at that time. But other than that, and I don't have any rationale for why I'm doing that either. I just am. So other than that, owning stocks versus options is individual, because the only reason to hold stocks is because you hold them for the long term. However, we're all a fucking nation and a society of people with ADD. So time is no longer what it was before. Now, if we hold something for like 9 months, it's an eternity. So we're all buying largely options that are 2 years out. So, that's my answer to that. What you do is your choice.
Hey, by the way, can I buy SPY puts in my IRA?
I believe so. Why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you're
Well-
approved for options, you can buy them.
yeah, if I got options, yeah. Just curious.
Yep.
Yeah. I can see some advantage to doing that is all I'm saying, right?
Absolutely. There are advantages to doing a lot of things once you see them.
Yep, right. It's a little bit of a pros and cons, so.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anything else? No? Okay, awesome.
thanks a lot,
This
man.
was quick and easy. This one is being recorded, so I'll send a link to it. So, if you guys want to review it in any way for any reason. All right, kids.
Thanks, Todd.
remember,
Thank you.
Remember,
Thank you,
you.
Bottom. Love you.
Bye.
Thank you so
remember,
much.
do shit. Okay, don't just
93.
listen, theorize. You have 4 fucking days. You have 4 fucking days to do end of year shit, and you have 4 days to start getting ready for, some unpleasantness next year.
But the SPY puts we're looking to implement in the first week of next year, basically.
You're looking to buy them now. I bought them
Oh,
now.
now. Okay.
Why
I
wait?
thought it was in January. I thought we
You
were
know,
looking to
but
do it in
again,
January.
build. Don't
Mhm.
buy everything now. Build. I bought today. I'm down 30% on those. I'm like, cool, it'll be cheaper tomorrow. Good.
Yeah.
No biggie. Okay. Just know that you're allocating X amount of dollars and you have those dollars. That's it. Or you know
Okay,
where they're going to
thank
come from for sure when you need them. This is not something where you want to be like, oh shit, I want to buy the SPY puts today. Let me initiate the transfer from my bank account to Schwab, and then it'll take 4 days for it to clear until I can trade options. The money has to be in there now. Okay?
All right.
Okie
All right.
dokie, everyone. Rob, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Right,
All
no
right,
Bye.
thank
problem.
you. Bye,
Take care.
guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
y'all.
Bye,
Love
guys.
you guys. Thank you.
Later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.